Welcome to Chaotic Harmony. My name is John.
This is Crystal. We talk about the joys and the challenges of teaching music in the elementary school classroom.
We share struggles, we brainstorm solutions.
And we would love to have you join us.
Welcome to another episode of Chaotic Harmony, episode 105. I'm your host, Jonathan Seligman, and today I am joined by an old favorite of this podcast, the YouTube queen herself, Sasha Stone. Hello, Sasha.
Hey, everybody.
That's
good to be back.
It's still so fascinating. Over the years, we've done this for 6 years now, and your video is the most viewed episode ever. I think, yeah. And
it's
I
the
don't
blue
know,
hair.
Is it the blue hair? Is the picture that Mark chose? Like,
yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
It's only gone downhill from there.
For you or for us? Uh-oh.
Well, dun, dun, dun. No, it's all good. Okay, yes, okay. That's awesome. I love that.
Speaking of good, how's your day going? So right now we're recording on a Friday. School ended like a little bit ago.
And it was a rainy Friday. I don't know if it was raining for you.
Yeah.
It was definitely a rainy Friday leading into a 4-day week because we have President's weekend. We have the middle of, we don't get ski week, but we have the 4-day weekend. So you know what? I don't really want to. Nowhere, because it's not really snowing in California right now.
Yeah,
we haven't. Yeah. This is the first full rainy day that our school has had, and it showed as far as how the kids did anything, which I understand. It's hard to be a kid and be outside when it's raining.
I mean, I still remember like when I was a kid, just feeling that energy of electricity. Like, life's different now because it's actually raining in San Diego.
Yeah. So many kids are like, I have to go to the bathroom. It's an absolute emergency. And I'm like, it's interesting because it's like really raining out there that you really got to go right now.
It's an emergency though.
It's an emergency. So I'm like, oh, you can go to the one in the NPR because my classroom's connected to the multipurpose room. And they're like, oh, okay. I guess
my body
I'll go there. I shouldn't have crushed their dreams. But I also don't want them to get soaking wet because I have carpet in my classroom and it doesn't dry.
So. Yeah. And whatever else they track in water plus X, I get you there.
Mm-hmm. We're making mud.
Yeah, we're tracking mud. We're doing all this stuff. But before we continue, this is Chaotic Harmony, the podcast where we talk about the joys, struggles, and all things adjacent to being an elementary music teacher, like tracking in mud and all that fun stuff. Last week, we just had part 2 of our video game music in elementary classroom fantasy draft, which is a ridiculously long sentence, but alas. There, Genesis, Jaime, Jasmine, our Arista friends, and I take each Le Bon effort and choose music from a video game that best matches that movement. It's a hot mess of a time, so do take a listen to both episodes and then vote. Have you been able to listen to it, Sasha, or not yet?
Yeah, I just finished part 1.
Oh, okay.
And part 2 started to play, but I wanted to watch it. So it was... Yeah, that one's the definite watching one.
I have some sad news. Half of that episode, the footage got deleted.
Oh.
So the video footage. But you get to the spiciest parts, you get to see it. No, there is spice. And so I would love to hear your thoughts, who you think it is. And make sure you vote, Sasha, and anyone else who listens to it.
Okay.
Decide who makes the best choices. Voting poll is in the program notes and on the socials. Next week, we have our interview with Rodlin Sese, where she shares her journey. So do keep your eyes peeled for that. And lastly, on March 10th, Crystal and I will be recording our 100th episode celebration. Yes, episode 100 happened a few episodes ago, but we'll be celebrating it then. So if you'd like to write in and have something you want to be read on air, that still isn't grammatically correct. For that episode, please email us at chaoticharmonyclassroom@gmail.com with the subject heading CH100. We'd love to read your memories and criticisms on air, especially if it's about Mark. That would be great. And bless his heart. We also have a special announcement on that episode, and so you won't want to miss it. Wow, man, it's Friday is just affecting my energy right now.
It's raining.
And also, is the cold season really hitting your kids?
Oh man, yeah. I had a class with 10 gone today. 17 in first grade. It was amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
and also with the bathroom breaks. So yeah,
Yeah.
maybe
But
like
I
15
mean,
at a time.
I shouldn't, it was not amazing that they're all very sick, but it's amazing what you can do with 17 versus 27.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
really big. What's the
Yeah,
maximum that
no.
your school district has?
For K3, it's 25, 24,
Okay,
but it's averaged. So we average it from K3. So if one grade level is really low and one grade level is really high, that averages out. So for
that's
example, our
interesting.
it's you know what?
It's
This
interesting.
is why we bargain.
That's why we organize.
This
Yes.
is why we organize. Yeah, so and then 35 is the max with fourth and fifth, but we are sitting at 32, 33, so that's not too bad.
Our max is 31.
I would love
So,
that.
I mean, I mean, I'm actually curious. This is the only district I've worked at.
Yeah.
So, any
Hmm.
listener, let us know. I'm really curious
Yeah.
what your maximum capacity is and what your average is. Because I know I work at a small school site where our numbers are dwindling, sadly enough. But
Yeah.
also, it's nice to have smaller classrooms. Anywho,
Yes.
anywho, that all said,
That could be a whole nother
yes,
episode,
it can
John.
be. But our main attraction is for something else. Sasha, earlier this week, we were kind of going back and forth about how the school year has been going, and you said something that kind of caught my ear digitally. You mentioned that what you were doing with fifth graders wasn't working. So you were encouraged by your VAP coordinator to go off script. So, first off, what was it you were doing before you went off the script with your fifth graders?
So I started the year just a typical general music classroom, very Orphy, very lots of movement, trying to incorporate improv, things that the kids were interested in. So with my fifth graders, we only have two fifth graders who are brand new to the school this year. And so the majority of them I've taught since kindergarten, and then some of them since TK. So they know me pretty well. I know them pretty well. So I know what their interests are and all of that. So it was very elemental, very like, let's make some music together. Let's raise the standard of what you can do. Then about October, things started to kind of get out of my scope of what I was comfortable with how they were behaving. And I
Mm,
know that behavior it is a big issue at a lot of different schools across the country. And so I was trying to get ahead of that, thinking that maybe these kids were just too comfortable with me. So because I've known them for so long and
mm,
I've seen them grow up and all of that. And so then in October, I kind of switched to a uh, rock band style music room. So we
okay.
were learning bucket drumming. We were getting ready to learn ukuleles. We were going to kind of put it all together, with this modern band style. And I have a friend who teaches rock
Mm,
band at the high school that I feed into. So I was picking his brain and kind of getting some ideas. And I don't know why that wasn't interesting to them.
the rock
And
band
it's
was not.
kind of
Or are
no,
you talking about
they
the movement
did
stuff?
yeah, they just really did not seem interested in I showed it to them or pitched it to them, I guess, as what songs do you want to learn? Here are how we can do Lady Gaga with the instruments we have. How can we make that work?
Mm,
And we did We Will Rock You with the bucket drums. We did it in a round. We did it. That one was great.
okay.
And then
Check.
after that, like mid-October, we just kept missing connections.
Mm,
It was really, really challenging to manage my classroom. And anyone who's dealing with elementary students, or I guess just in general, your classroom management is the foundation of
yes.
your success. And
Yes.
my motto this year has been, you have to shape the behavior before it shapes you.
Mm,
Meaning, I want to get on top of like if they're being rude or unkind to their peers, like you have to stop it before that becomes the norm in their mind. So
okay.
that's kind of my mentality.
Pause for a
So if
second.
we've
I want to
yes,
parse a few things out. So you just to make sure that I'm with your timeline. So at first you were doing
yes,
traditional stuff with your fifth graders.
yeah,
Um,
like very
Traditional
elemental. Yes, our Orphe, that Orphe feeling.
that Orphe feel. That was in the area lesson plans. The Orphe feel is the objective. And
Yes,
then that wasn't striking. You had a lot of behaviors, just a lot of like kids just checking out. Like what kind of behaviors were you hitting exactly?
checking out. I've noticed that students are very inconsiderate of each other. So I love their ideas. I love collaboration. I love that improv piece. I love them just being kind of the driving force. And in fourth and fifth grade, I start to let go a little bit of the
Mm,
reins, which is
yeah,
terrifying. But I know that as they get older, they have their opinions that are their first opinion, that it's not something someone else told them. It's something that they kind of felt on their own. And so I want to lean into that, whatever their interests or whatever that is. So I could tell there's just not being kind to one another.
mm, yeah,
And they were not being safe with the instruments,
mm, okay,
which I've never had an issue with until this year with fifth grade. And, we all know that you have sixth grade, that's your top grade. But
right.
we call it spring fever for a reason because April comes and you're like, who are these children? I don't know who you are. This is not, I've never seen that from you, but I'm seeing this. I feel like it's just creeped forward over the last couple years, where it was May and then it was April and then it's March and now it's
Coming earlier and earlier and earlier.
earlier and earlier.
And now
Not
you said
necessarily.
October, you said.
October was when I started to see the shift.
I see.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, and I might be a unique case. My school is huge. We were rebuilt a few years ago, and so if you build it, they will come, and it's a gorgeous building.
That
Everyone
movie I
wants to
find
be
is
a
overrated. I'm sorry. That movie's overrated, but whatever. Continue your thought.
okay.
Okay.
Um, we have a big school. It's beautiful and new.
Mhm,
Everyone wants
mhm,
to be a
mhm.
part of it. So I think part of it is that they are kind of on top of each other. There's not room in the hallways. There's not enough seating at lunch necessarily. They're on the playground. Not everybody gets a chance to play on the structure or play soccer or play basketball. They're just very it's kind of like tight quarters, I
Yeah.
suppose. And I could see that just maybe that's might be their trigger is that, I don't have the space to be a kid as much as I used to. It's a good problem to have that
Sure.
we don't have declining enrollment. Um, but I'm feeling it. And
Mm.
with that, I'm teaching 34 classes a week. Um, so 7 a day,
How
essentially.
many kids are at your school?
I teach about 9, 10 a week. That's what I checked before in
The
January.
students, not class. Sorry, you said 19 a week. What?
910.
910. Go.
Sorry.
And it's like, whoa,
I teach
nine
at
and 10.
910. That's it.
That's it. Interesting. Wait. Gosh. Okay. And so,
So when I first started, we were at 700.
mm,
So that I'm in my eighth year. And so, you kind of have to shift your mentality. I'll admit with some of my fifth graders, I feel like part of it is my fault because I did not jump on board with the direction we were going fast enough. And I've kind of realized I'm stuck in the mentality of how I was teaching 2 years ago versus what we have today. And
only
2 years
two, not
ago,
like before COVID, like 5 years ago.
well, I think that's hard because COVID happened in my third year of teaching. So I had
Fair.
my first year of teaching, and then I
Mm,
had COVID, which is like another first year of teaching. And then when we
yes.
came back and we were fully in person, that's when the rebuild started. So then I felt like I had a first year
Sure.
there
I understand.
again because we were like half of our school was construction, the other half was education, and then we flip-flopped. And then in the new building, I felt like it was kind of a first year because no one knows where anything's at, and
Mm,
so I feel this year's I is the second full year. So we moved in January. So
mm.
January, yeah. So we've been in for 2.5 years now.
So like
And
the post-construction era, essentially, for
the
your school site.
post-construction era, New Richland, that's what we call it.
Ooh, okay. And Richmond's
Yes.
your school site.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Richland is my school site. Yeah.
Yeah. Not
We just
just
pulled
like
that out of
okay.
thin air. Yeah. So
Gotcha.
I feel that this year is kind of I've settled
Yeah.
and I am in my space. I know my classroom. I know my students, and we're just missing communication.
Mm.
There's something that it could be me, it could be them, that we're just not quite moving at the same. I don't know. We don't have the same motivation. Maybe that's what it is.
We being you and your
Me and my
students, right?
students. Yeah,
Yeah.
me and my fifth grade students.
Well, two things you said. One thing, oh well, one thing. I think teachers don't like hearing this, but I think what you said is very true. I think it applies to everybody. Like you said, I think most of the time it's my fault.
Hmm.
And honestly, teaching is a dynamic element that has so many factors, but I find that a lot of older teachers, because we are on the older end and now, we're not like
How
the beginning
dare
teachers.
you?
We all, I
How
mean, on top
dare
of
you?
this is my 10th year teaching, and so I cannot call
I
myself a new
know.
teacher anymore.
No,
But
you
like,
can't.
I need like, it's humbling, but we have to remind ourselves, yeah, a lot of the times it is our fault.
Yeah.
Yes, students' behavior is like sometimes atrocious, and there are things that happen like outside of our control. But as the teacher, we have to take onus on or behave. We have to take responsibility for, hey, it didn't work out, and that's might be on us.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
and go for
that's
it.
where I'm at. I'm
Well, that's
feeling
fair.
like if they're not changing, I need to change to
Hmm.
fit what works for them.
Yeah.
So, um,
So back to that then. So
this is
you
a very long way of saying that my timeline is very strange.
No, that's totally understandable. I mean, like when we're trying to, especially when we work with so many grade levels, and this is just one
Mhm.
of the grade levels, it's hard to
Right.
kind of tie things through. But like, so you said up until October, October is when you decided to pivot. You went towards
Yes, that
rock
was my
band.
first pivot
Your
with
first,
the rock band.
was this pre or
Yes.
post your VAPA coordinator say to go off
This is
script?
pre.
Okay, so still
So,
before he not got came in, but like say shared his thoughts.
yes, this is still before that. That was maybe the end of January because I came back in January and I was like trying to have a different mentality, you know.
Hold on to that
I,
thought. Sorry, pause because I want to
mhm.
ask one thing more from that
Yeah.
second era, from October to January.
Yeah.
You tried Rock Band. The
Yes.
reasoning was just because how can we make things what? What was your reasoning?
Relevant. I just wanted to I just wanted to do what they were interested in because they were not interested in, my fun little games. And I generally use more pop music in fourth and fifth grade. But like you mentioned, we are getting older and I don't know what's relevant. So
Yeah.
I'm using music that they probably wasn't even popular when they were born or something like that. And
Yeah.
so I think maybe when I was saying let's do We Will Rock You, they're kind of thinking, okay, that's fine, but like my grandma listens to that.
I mean, actually,
Um,
that was pre us. So,
it was pre us.
like,
So
yeah.
yeah, and um I tried a couple other things. I asked students, what do you want to do? And it just never landed. It just felt like I was grasping at straws
Sure.
a lot of the time and playing catch up with what they needed.
Mm,
Um, so
okay.
yeah.
And then came, so you tried Rock Band, you tried
Hmm.
kind of hit or miss, and then January
Hit
comes
or miss.
along
Hmm.
and your VAP coordinator says go off script. So,
Yeah.
what did
So
that entail? I'm curious because when you said that, that was
yeah.
really piqued my interest. Off script. Okay.
Yeah, so I have a really awesome coordinator, Matthew Armstrong, and he has kind of seen me grow up as a teacher, I suppose, so lot like I think he's seen me, he hired me, he knows kind of my pedagogy and what I like and how I'm passionate about, the creativity and the elemental music making and all of that. And he said to me, I was feeling really burnt out and I was feeling like then he asked, well, what is the thing that's burning you out the most? What is the biggest red flag? And I said, my fifth grade students. And so then that's where we focused in on.
Mm.
And so that has kind of shifted my mentality too, that it's not my whole job. It's just there's elements of it that that right now I don't have the mental capacity to master, and that's okay. So he said, well, if what you've always done is not working, go off script, go sideways, do something you would never consider doing. Just try something new. Do anything you think that like, or not think, but what if you think that'll work, do something different. Just kind of he gave me permission, I think, to try something new. And then he was talking to me about there's an AI songwriting technology called Suno, Suno.
Okay.
And he was telling me, you can maybe you introduce them to this and you're still getting all these musical elements, and you can talk about form, you can talk about style, you can talk about instruments, you can talk about music from different cultures, you can talk about music for celebrations, you can do rhythm, like all of these things through the vision of songwriting.
Mhm.
So that is where we are
Okay.
now, is
Okay.
I have gone off script. Um, and we started kind of a songwriting unit with my fifth grade students 2 weeks ago. Kind introducing it, and then last week we did each class we did a class song. It's pretty fun. There's a
Expound.
song about fish.
Okay. Okay.
There's a song about potatoes.
Mm.
Uh, I think there's a song about rocks.
Do you have
That's
any
what they wanted
excerpts
to
for
write.
us or no?
Yeah. I mean, I could. Do you want me to put it in the mic, or like do you want me to
I
send it
mean,
to you and I can be
it's
like, here's some podcast
I
magic.
am like I'm more curious about the content. You say potatoes
Okay.
and rocks and fish. That is
Okay.
not the first three subjects I think about for fifth
For
grade.
kids, right? For
I
fifth
know,
graders.
but fifth graders specifically, like I would
Yeah.
have thought, someone starts talking about Kendrick Lamar, or like starts talking
Yes.
about like
Hmm.
Skip the Toilet, or like it's like
Oh my,
rock.
yes. So
Not
when
that
we were
Skip the Toilet and Kendrick Lamar should ever be in the same sentence, but alas, they do.
yeah. Okay. So yes, that's what they said, and
Mhm.
as a class, that's what we went with. And we talked about form, and I just said verse, chorus, and that was it. That's what we're working on right now. And then we're gonna, pull that apart, talk about different genres, talk about different, just have them experience music in a different way. But
Mhm.
I feel that my students are so addicted to technology that at this point, I might as well lean into it because, for example, today we started our small group writing this week. So they have a group of four. They're together creating a song. It has to have a theme. It has to have a genre. It has to have tempo. All of these things. Not tempo yet. Sorry, I'm not that advanced, but all of these things. And it was the most engaged that I've seen this class since the beginning of the year. Oh, and today was
Cool.
our 100th day of school. So it's like on day 100, that is when this class in particular, I've seen them 21 times at this point. That is when, so it took me 22 weeks or 21 weeks, 100 days to get them how they were at the very beginning of the year with that excitement.
So it's not
So
just behaviors are better; they are excited.
they're
They are
excited. Yes,
curious about
they
the
were
music.
excited. And I will say that maybe because I was excited, they were excited. Our students, they pick up on way more than we give them credit for. And so, when I'm coming in and I'm feeling like I'm putting on a show, I'm putting on a fake face, they can see that.
Oh
They
yeah.
know that I'm
Mhm.
frustrated and I'm exhausted. And so it was really, really fun to discover something new. And, um, when you have a good lesson, you're like, oh, I'm just so excited. I cannot wait for the students to try this. That's where I was at. And I hadn't felt that this year
Oh,
for any of my grades. this is the first time this year I really was like, yes, this is something completely me. I haven't, I mean, thank you, Matt. Shout out, Matt, for giving me the idea, talking about the technology side of it. But I just, I went sideways. And
Yeah,
technology is not necessarily something I'm super comfortable with in the classroom, but
it's new.
it's new. It is new. Yeah.
Yeah. I first off, I really want to backpedal and just, yeah, us giving a shout out to Matt. It takes a lot of courage for an administrator to encourage a teacher to do something that is not comfortable to them.
Hmm.
Or rather, should I say, is not what a lot of other teachers are doing. And maybe that's not the case. Maybe your other teachers in your district are, but especially as you come from an ORF approach, like that's cool that you're. I remember the first time I met Matt was when we Mega Arts conference. You can listen back to that one. But just he just showered you with praise. He really values you as a teacher, and so it's cool that he came in and says like, it's not so much that like it wasn't just hey, just like girdle your loins. It wasn't that, but it was
Yeah.
more like let's try something different and like
Hmm.
being willing to try something that's even out. Well, I guess technology is in his purview, but still, that's really cool. Shout out to
Hmm.
Matt.
Yeah.
Um,
It's shifted my perspective for the rest of the year. That's for sure.
that's cool, and I'm glad to hear that there's excitement with the kids as well. So
Hmm.
you're having them. So just so I understand, they are all going on an app called Suno, and
We're using, sorry, go continue.
and is this AI app here to help create the lyrics, the music? What does it do exactly for the listeners who don't know anything about it, and also myself who has nothing that knows nothing about it?
Yes, I didn't know anything about it till about a month ago. So, right there with you. Um, the app itself, the website is blocked on their Chromebooks. So that is kind of not a mishap, but I've created a Google Classroom for them to basically upload all of their stuff to, and then I can take it and input it into
But
the actual AI maker.
Suno though is what does it do? Is it a DAW? Is it
Okay.
a like what is it?
Yes. So there's a lot of different things you can do it. How we've been working with it is you on the create page, you can either put instrumental or um oh my gosh, vocal.
Okay, okay.
So we are choosing to write a song with words. So um the first box that pops up is, your lyrics box, and there's an option to have you completely write your own words. There's an option for Suno and you to write together. So you could put in, Dalmatian skibbity toilet in the style of German underground ukulele
Oh.
playing. I don't know. And you and Suno, your ideas kind of come together.
I'm just really curious now what German underground playing sounds like.
I I I
Is
was
it like the
just
Greenwich
grasping.
Village of German ukuleles? Like what's going on here?
I don't. If it exists, please contact Chaotic Harmony and tell them,
And we
John.
will upload it and we will share it and we
Yeah.
will be grateful for it.
Whatever that is. Check the
Whatever it
show
is.
notes later. Maybe we'll find it ourselves. It'll be in the show notes. Okay,
Mhm.
I have no guarantees on that. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I
Um
derailed it. Back to you. So they type
so
their lyrics and then the
you can
style.
type, so there's one, you can make it all your own. You can kind of do that co-create, and then you can have Suno just create the words for you. And then the next thing down, it is the style. So that's where you put in the tempo, a female or a male vocalist. You can have an androgynous vocalist. You could have German underground ukulele. You can put
Vocalist.
instruments. You could put vocalist. You can put in styles. You can put in, okay, can I give a tiny tangent?
Chaotic harmony. Yeah, go for it.
So you have to mess around with this technology
Sure.
first on your own to just see what happens, right? And so in that, I've made a song about the musical staff because my students on recorder are starting to read the music notes.
Mm.
which we haven't really ever gotten there, so that's fun.
Okay, that's
And
cool.
I made this song, and one of our sayings in that I say to my students all the time is to be cringe is to be free, because they always say that I'm cringe. And so,
I love
so
that. I love that. To be cringe is to be free.
I even have a little
It's
Bitmoji
wonderful.
that says it. And it's like like meditating. So anytime I do something cringe, I stamp that into the slides so they know it's coming. And then they're kind of like, Miss Stone, But then by the end of class, they were so excited about this staff song. They were singing it because it's catchy. The Suno creates like 6 times out of 10 really catchy, fun thing, and the you can tell with the voice that it's AI, which I don't really mind because the students, I don't want them to think that it's I don't know. I'm not sure what I mean, what I want them to think, but I want them to know that it's not a real person.
Sure,
So
yeah. Yeah. It's not
that
Skynet, you know?
yes, 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 yeah. So you can create a whole bunch of stuff. And I found out that I put in G pentatonic, C pentatonic, and it'll pop out sometimes. Sometimes it's not in that, but I've been using it for just when students are playing on their recorders or we're moving around in class in that tone set. So then we kind of have it in our ears, and it's kind of
Hmm,
fun.
that's
And it's
cool.
just instrumental, silly, fun stuff. Okay, so that's under styles. Um, I'm sorry that my brain is all
No,
over the
you're
place.
good. You're good. And
I
I
know
think
it's
I
chaotic
completely,
harmony, but
but also I no, this is cool because it gives me a context of what it is. So essentially, you type in what you want,
Mhm.
and it gives you stuff to then create with, essentially.
Yes. And then
Okay.
so, you can put the most specific is the lyrics and the style, and
Mhm.
obviously the more information you give it, the closer it is. The thing that I've struggled with is for example, you type this, the students wanted to do one of the songs in rap, but it didn't pop out rap. So we should have
Yeah,
given more like in the style of rap, in the style of hip hop, with a heavy, heavy, heavy emphasis on
sure. And
this
then
beat,
underground
or I
ukulele
really, you
beats.
know what I mean? Giving the more information, the better.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
for this round with my students where they're working in the groups, I told them, give me as much information as you can. And they're really struggling with that, which is fine because I want to, we're starting. Wait, there we go. Sorry, on my screen. We're starting.
To our audio listeners, you might want to see this part. Is the
I'm just
square.
moving my hands to the side of Zoom, but I haven't taught on Zoom for so long, I forget how this works. So we're starting here with a full class, and then now we're going to um, small group, and then eventually they'll all create their own song.
Cool.
Um,
Oh,
so yeah, that's where my direction is going. And I don't
yeah.
know if I answered your question.
No, you did. I mean, I just wanted to know more about the app, and that's cool.
Hmm.
And I think there's a lot of good stuff with technology, and it's always interesting to see the different kinds of camps of music teachers. Some
Hmm.
try to stay away from it wholeheartedly, believing that like our job is to sing and to dance and to move. And I think there's definitely merit to that. And then there's also this camp of people that believe the future is technology, and so we need
Hmm.
to plug ourselves into the matrix and only do technology. And I think there's merit to that also, maybe not the latter portion of what I just shared, but like leaning in specific, because I feel like a lot of our listeners, correct me if I'm wrong listeners, but there's a lot of us that really focus on, when we teach music, we're teaching soft skills, and music is the modality of that.
Hmm.
Like we need to teach empathy and kindness and respect. And I know you view those things with importance. However, there's like also this belief that that can only be achieved in the analog space. Do you feel like you are achieving this in the digital space? Or do you see it can or will go that direction? I know you're just starting this out, but what do you
Yeah.
see?
Um, I feel that it is definitely playing into the kind of pedagogy of Orff, when with student choice, with um, with student choice. Um, And this obviously is on the create side. And then, but they are kind of playing with it as well because they're experimenting in the moment. It's not as rapid fired as I'd like, where they would be able to just do it themselves and then, we can all work together. So I've been working on trying to get some stuff unblocked, but because there's not an education um, facet of it yet. Oops, sorry, Mike.
Good.
um, uh, our district's not going to approve it, which is totally fine. I want to keep the students
Sure.
safe and all of that. Okay. Do I feel that there's space for empathy and like the ORF process, or do I just is do I think that this is valuable? Is that what the question is? Can you
Mm, more, yeah, sure
rephrase
thing.
it or
I
just say it again?
more so is the element of like teaching SEL, which is stuff that a lot of us do with the analog teaching.
Mm-hmm.
Because we use children's books, we use also ways to interact and dance with students. Oftentimes technology is very much siloed. People are very much
Right.
on computers, and you're just trying to do this in a group setting, which is cool. And I think there's that element. But like, I guess my question is, is there stuff, or have you found success in this digital space that you've only done for like about what, 3 months now? 2 months? Sorry, 1.5 months.
Yeah.
Wow. And do you feel like have you seen your ability to teach soft skills, or do you see that there is a pathway to really emphasize teaching SEL, teaching caring, empathy, etc.,
Mhm.
through this modality of digital teaching?
Yeah. Well, I think that, you know, whatever we make it, that's what it's gonna be.
Sure.
Um, I we at my site, we have some expectations that the students know. I did a lot of front loading with what does it look like to work in a group in your classroom? The students talked about, okay, I want to be a listener. I want to be a contributor, a listener, contributor, leader, and then there's one more other thing that they said, which obviously is something that they've heard,
Mhm.
but they do a lot of group work, and so they moving from group work in their classroom into our setting, I think that they were able to do the collaboration, the compromise, especially when they're creating something together. You
mm
know,
mm
and we said this, I said, write everyone's idea down. And if we don't choose yours, you can save that for later when we get to do this again. And if we don't choose your idea, it doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it didn't work in the moment.
mm
And
mm
I think students were very open to that. I hadn't had, or up to this point, I haven't had groups arguing. I haven't had groups, um, making fun of other people's groups. In fact, I've seen them go to another group and say, "Hey, what do you think of this?" And getting ideas from that group
mm
for what they're writing down. Oh, does it work? Does it not? And that encouragement of, "Oh, I really like that," or "Oh, maybe try this." That's what we do in the ORF room. Well, general music classroom, elemental music, whatever you want to, whatever the
mm
name is for what you do, um, whatever you call it, the collab, the creation, the exploration is definitely there. Do I have
Well,
it honed? No. I will get there.
you've only done
Maybe
it
in a
for a few weeks.
year. Yeah, maybe in a year I can do
Yeah,
like a follow-up, like here's where we're at type of
sure.
thing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel foreign to me. It doesn't feel uncomfortable. There's definitely times I've noticed, and I feel like we've talked about this before, when I feel that my teaching is falling apart or I feel uncomfortable in my practice, it is, uh, when I reflect, it is I was approaching it with a conservatory mindset
mm
of there is one way and it's perfection. I mean, that's the broad version of it. Um, and so when I take a step back and I say, "Oh, that didn't work because of this," it allows me to feel good about the choices I make with the exploration, the elemental, the sequencing, all of that. The sing, play, create. I forget the other one. Is
Oh
it
no.
move, sing, play,
Says
create?
move, yeah, dance, do a
Oh,
jiggy.
please don't judge me.
Don't judge us.
Don't judge. Don't. John and I are doing a great job.
We are. I mean, we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
We do
but
we do good stuff. But I think recognizing that I feel comfortable in the process with this
no,
new thing that it feels good. It feels
yeah.
like, okay, this is my natural path. This is where I should be, even
Mm.
though it's off script. It's out to lunch. We're on a different planet. I'm not completely comfortable with the tech part of it, but I'm comfortable with the process, if that
And
makes
yeah,
sense.
like no, definitely. And like, as us Enneagram sixes, I mean, if we feel that it's ruining our body, that's probably a good thing. Um,
Yes,
like that's
that's the beauty of a six.
mhm.
Um, your body tells you what to do.
For better and for worse.
Yeah.
Uh, well, actually, speaking of that part, because you say that you're not really tech savvy, but that is always, a like you all just always pin me as, oh, this is Jonathan. He's the guy in charge of tech, or he's the guy who knows tech. It's always
Yeah.
a spectrum. I'd say Jesse Rogers is more knowledgeable than I am, and like,
Okay.
and so it's
Yeah.
all spectrum. So that all said, um, there are people that are not as tech savvy as you, and you're someone who
Correct.
had the courage to pursue this because
Hmm.
you have knowledge of stuff, of how
Yes.
the inner workings of electronics work, essentially.
Hmm.
So, what do you recommend then to teachers that aren't as knowledgeable in this space but have had similar struggles as you and wish to pivot?
Hmm. Awesome. Great question. Um, I feel like at least with this application, this AI, you can use it as an app, you can use it as on the website. It has a web browser page you can go to. See, now I don't know if that's the correct term. Now I'm all self-conscious. Anyway,
I think you're right
type it
so
into
far.
Google. You can Google it and it will pop up. So if you feel comfortable doing that, you can get to the website.
Mhm.
And then from there, I think the really neat piece about it is that depending on your comfort level, it kind of guides you into what to do. So if you're feeling nervous about, creating something online, it can do a lot of the work until you feel comfortable to let it do the work. I
Mhm.
guess that's the beauty of artificial intelligence is that it does kind of take the human error, not error, the human um okay, hold on. It's
I feel
I know
you,
what I
but
say. Th- w- Okay,
the guesswork
when
essentially.
the guesswork and the is this right? Is this
Oh,
wrong?
yeah. Mhm.
Like it
The
doesn't
inhibitions, the
no,
concerns,
it
yeah.
doesn't have imposter syndrome, right?
AI does not have imposter
And
syndrome.
so when you're
Oh no, we just lost our mic. We just lost our mic. It's okay. It's okay. I mean, would
I'm
AI
so
do that? That's the
sorry.
greatest question. No, you are fine. You are fine. We're like
You should
also
edit
to
that
to be
part
said.
out.
Like, I'm sure. No, no, this is fine. And also, we also have. I mean, this is a whole conversation on is AI ethical? Is it good? There's a lot
It's
of elements.
yes,
Hard,
and it's
but
the
that's the topic for
I
another time.
it is, and I had mixed feelings, but I jumped in. So I think that it takes out kind of that guesswork and that AI is gonna make it. It's gonna do what you want it to do, or maybe not, but it's I feel like it's pretty user friendly if
Mm.
as long as you know how to get to the internet and have a computer with well, I mean
I mean,
that's a
no, no,
thing.
that's true. That's I shouldn't laugh. My apologies.
Yeah. I mean, we grew up
Yes,
in
with
our
dial-up.
credentialing, we grew up with technology. I did every lesson plan online. All of my lessons are on Google Slides. That's how I lesson plan is
Hmm.
with Google Slides. I don't write anything down. Um, and my mentor teachers, they were completely different. It was pen and paper, and it was I can't just Google something to
Yeah,
find
that's very
who
fair.
did this thing. I have to go into my library at school and look for this piece of music, whatever it is. So I think that moving forward, people who are growing up with technology, it's going to be easier. But if we're thinking about the teachers who are still working, hopefully they're not 65. Hopefully they have retired because they deserve it. And if you are 65 and you're still working, good for you. I
I raised my
hope that
glass
one
to you.
day I can be as cool as you. Keep doing amazing things. But I often will run, my parents are both retired educators. I will run things through them. And
Interesting.
and I can't tell you how many lessons that they have,
Shot down.
done. No, no, no.
Oh, what that
Or
you do?
like I've tried it on them, and it helps me to process it out because
Hmm.
my dad plays guitar. My mom never had the opportunity necessarily for music, and it's something she always wished, and which is part of the reason, I have it, and my sisters had piano lessons, and um but I will talk through stuff with them. I would say that my mom is more tech savvy. She was a library technician, and a credentialed library teacher, and she taught a ton of tech stuff. So she's a little, she's like probably the higher end of what people are capable of. And my dad is, average, I would say. So, I guess what I'm saying, I haven't tested this on them yet, but if you have the people to try it with, I think that helps to just visualize it. And, sometimes, just maybe you hand them the phone, you say, can you use this? Can you try this? See how it works. And um, I think it's okay to ask for help, obviously.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But okay, I think that the tech part is scary because I feel that it's not something I'm super like I know what the things are, but I don't know the names
Sure. Yeah.
of the, whatever it is.
Things you're looking for.
The
Hmm.
things I'm looking for, I could draw a picture of it. I could almost tell you what it does. But and I was a little intimidated setting up this microphone today and getting this is all my husband's recording stuff. It's not mine at all. But my husband showed me and then
Hmm.
left, and then I set it up myself. And now I feel like, okay, if you put the little thing in the part that it fits in the mic, that's like where it needs to go, right? So
Right.
this really didn't
Well,
answer your question. I'm sorry.
no, well, what I'm gathering, which I do, you just experiment.
Experiment.
Also, reach
Mm-hmm.
out to people. I like that bit. Like, reach out to people that you feel like, um, ask people who aren't as tech savvy. Can you do this? And if
Yeah.
if it works in your head, but it doesn't work with someone who isn't as tech savvy, then maybe you need to revise a few things, or
Right.
also just have the boldness to. Yeah, I think those are the two polar elements. Like,
Right.
try it out. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Any last? Go for it.
Oh no, go for it.
Go
Sorry.
for it.
I was just gonna say that it's okay to make mistakes,
Yeah.
even though it feels scary.
Hmm.
And that's where, I hit that in January. And so now I'm feeling okay to make mistakes, and I'm giving myself the grace that I give others.
And I think I remember during the early COVID episodes we were talking about we talked a lot about imposter syndrome,
Hmm.
and but also we talked about just this notion that our students we felt so apprehensive to do a lot of digital based stuff, and we didn't know what we were doing, but there was an empathy that this is what our students face. Like this is the students don't know what they're doing. They're learning something
Hmm.
new, and the fact that we are pushing ourselves to do something new allows us to be in their shoes. So
Right.
I
Yeah.
feel you there. Yeah. Well,
Yeah. I think one of my feelings as a teacher is that you should try something new, try a new skill, a new hobby, a new anything, at least once a school year, because it reminds you how it feels to be a beginner at something.
mm,
Um, and it's scary. It really is.
yeah,
But that's how our students feel. They go boldly without us a lot of the time. And I don't know if I could be as brave as them with
mm,
certain things. So just
people.
being reminded what it feels like to be a learner is
Yeah,
important.
I like that. Yeah. Thank you for this talk, Sasha. I appreciate it. And thank you
You're
for
welcome.
sharing your boldness into this new area. I would love to catch up and see what happens at the end of this year and see what happen see if there's success, to see where it's going. But
Yeah.
um Yeah, cool. Well, we have something after in a bit, but first we have a break.
I want to take a quick break and thank my husband Bryan, who's been working behind the scenes producing these episodes every week on all of the platforms and on time. But you need to know that he is first a financial planner for Mission Trails Financial. Mission Trails Financial is a partner that seeks to guide clients in the journey to financial success. They believe that people need a financial advisor that aims to provide strategies for success. Mission Trails Financial helps people navigate investments, tax planning, and insurance. Imagine working with an advisor who isn't tied to specific brands. Mission Trails Financial has a fiduciary responsibility to act in the best interests of their clients by providing independent, objective advice. Their mission is to help clients accomplish their financial goals. As Joe Vitale once said, a goal should scare you a little and excite you a lot. Do yourself a favor and set up a time to chat with Mission Trails Financial. Visit www.missiontrailsfinancial.com or call 619-419-0238 to schedule a call. You'll be glad you did. We believe that leaning on professionals is how we get ahead. Check out the program notes for more information.
Welcome back to Chaotic Harmony, but before we start this, or before we continue this, let's do a quick left turn, y'all. Thank you all so much for being part of this 100+ episode journey. Whether you joined us back in episode 12 with Sasha's first episode, which I wasn't a part of. Apparently, it was the girls only, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yep.
I knew it. Okay, anyways. Or if you decided to join us here for the first time, thank you all so much. But with that, we do ask, please support the things you love. We do have a Patreon, patreon.com/chclassroom, where you can get special merch and other things for the class. If you don't have a buck to toss our way, that's totally okay, because, ideas are meant to be free. But
buy them a coffee.
I mean, we are hoping to have that eventually, have a buy me a coffee thing set up.
Buy me a coffee.
Buy me a coffee. Or you can buy me a coffee. Sasha, if you want to buy me a coffee, that'd be great.
I should probably buy you several coffees.
No, mate, that's all good. But you listeners, there's free ways to support us. Please leave us a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Tell your students to leave a review too. Just have them, en masse. Just leave reviews. 5 stars only. It's all the only number I know how to count to. And if you do a written review, we will read it on air, and I will do a wild non-locomotor dance for y'all. Follow us also on the socials in YouTube. Leave this episode a like and write a nice comment. All these small things help ensure that these extracurricular things that we do still exist and don't get bought up by Microsoft or the sad company called Burnout. Anyway, deeply appreciated. That all said, we're going to do something different today. Actually, well, no, let's do something different. We were doing something with, I believe it was Rachel and also Olivia. We were doing the game show. I'm just trying these new ideas, and you remember those. But I would like to try a different kind of game, and we'll see what sticks. Okay. Let us know. I really am curious which one you like better, the listeners. We're gonna call this is called Fake Sheet. So I have 10 books that I tell you, and I want you to tell me, is it real or is it fake?
Oh, no.
You can get at least 6 of them correct, you will receive a Chaotic Harmony shirt.
All
so,
right. I'll do my
best. Are you ready?
No, I'm not.
You're not? Okay, that's okay.
No, it's okay. I mean, ready or not, here we go. Fake book. Fake book?
Fake book or real book? So,
real book.
First book. Is this real or fake? The Proudest Blue.
That's a real book.
And the answer is correct. It is a real book. And also the picture of the book, so y'all can look it up. Ibtihaj Muhammad. I hope that I got that right. Ibtihaj Muhammad. The Proudest in Blue. That is correct. So 1 point towards Sasha. Awesome. Let's see what our next one is. Where are you from? Is the book Where Are You From a real book or a fake book?
I hope it's a real book, but I feel like there's so many books like that it could be a similar name, but are you going to try to trick me really hard, or is it obvious? I was thinking, okay, the Proudest Blue. What if it's a Proudest Purple? Like maybe I mixed up the color.
Okay, I'm not gonna.
Am I being a 6 right now? Okay, I'm being a 6 right now. You are being
a little 6, but okay. I will say that I'm not gonna take a book's name and change one word. That part I won't do. But
you're just making a complete new book.
that I feel is inspired by other books that I've seen before.
What if this is not a real book and then me and you write this book? Does that count?
Then that it will not count for this game, but it will be. We will let the people know.
Okay, I'm gonna say real book.
Where Are You From? Is a real book.
Oh, okay.
By Yamile Saied Mendez. So, pick it up.
I'm sorry, I'm taking this way too seriously.
No, you're good. I love it. So right now you're 2 points. You're good so far.
Okay.
Right. Book 3. Lila Delilah. Is that a real book or a fake book?
I feel like that's a spinoff of Fancy Nancy, and so I'm gonna say not a real book.
Lila Delilah, written by
Jonathan
Seligman. So it is a fake book. It is
okay.
All right. So good job. So far, 3 points.
My phone just is beeping at me. Sorry. Okay, it's silent. It's on airplane mode now.
You good? I don't hear it. So that's gonna. It just felt like a good name, Lila Delilah. So
it does. Maybe that's our picture book. And Lila Delilah is a llama who is having a dilemma about. I'm trying to rhyme, but I didn't really go.
Dilemma of.
Yeah. A lemon.
We're gonna go to our 4th book. Book number 4. So right now you have 3 points. Congratulations.
Okay. Wow. I just need 3 more.
Yeah, I might need to up the ante again. So I'm workshopping this. I'm entering the boldness of mystery. So I could be. I might need to up.
I was feeling like it would be hard to get 6. So Okay, continue.
Book 4. I want my hat back.
I want my hat back?
I want my hat back.
I feel like we did that in levels. So I'm going to say I want my hat back is a real book.
I Want My Hat Back is written by John Klassen. So yes, it is a real book. Yeah.
Did we do that, or was it the underwear one with the I'm envisioning a panda or a polar bear?
It's a llama, I believe. It's a llama. I think we've done this book. Yes, it looked when I was searching. I looked familiar the cover. But alas,
sorry.
Anyway, you have 4 points. Congratulations. The Real You. Is this a real book or a fake book?
Again, if it's not a real book, I think it should be a real book. But there are so many books coming out that are, leaning in towards inclusion and diversity and all of our fun things. Sorry, I didn't mean that in I
get you. It's so hard right now.
Yes, like that. I feel like that is a real book.
The Real You is written by Jonathan Seligman and Sasha Stone. And
okay.
A fake book at the moment, but we definitely need to hit up.
I love it.
So someone to.
I think that if there's a publisher out there who's looking for 2 music teachers to bring on to write a picture book or something, we'll do it.
Hit us up. All right. Right now you're 4-1. So far so good.
Okay.
You got 5 more books. You just need 2 more points.
Yeah. Okay.
So one more point. You just need 1 more point. All right.
Awesome.
Next one is Unicorns Like Ice Cream. Real book or a fake book?
Okay, I'm gonna say, because this is like Dragons Like Tacos, right? That's a book. And it's kind of like a mythical creature that likes a popular food. So I'm going to say it's not a real book.
Unicorns Like Ice Cream. Written by the same author of Dragons Like Tacos, Daniel Salmieri. So unfortunately, that is not correct.
That's okay. That's okay. I love that I knew I'm parallel. I'm happy. I'm happy that it's all right. Anyway, continue.
So, I'm sorry. It's 4-2, right? 4 yes, 2
I think it's 4-2. You
still need 2 more.
I need 2 more, but I can't mess up the next 4.
Yeah. Okay.
But if I do, that's okay. I'm a fine loser. This has been fun.
Next one is The Rooster Who Would Not Be Quiet.
Oh, that's a real book. We just did this at our workshop. With Victor.
So, is it a real book?
It's a real book. It's a real book.
The Rooster Who Would Not Be Quiet El Gallo que no se callaba by Carmen, Agra, Deedy. So yes, that is the book that Victor showcased, which I started tearing up. Man, dude,
it was great.
The way he recontextualized the Street Song was just gosh,
yeah,
it hit hard. It was good, really good.
It was
really
good. I was on those bass bars. I was like, oh, I'm healed.
And I was telling Victor on the way back to the airport, my ADHD brain is like, okay, this is fun. And I'm trying to figure out the story. And then once it gets to the apex, it starts, oh, that's good. Oh, yeah, it was great. It was great.
It's so good.
5-2.
Thank you, Victor.
Thank you, Victor. 5-2. You just need one more point.
Okay.
The next one is Be Nice, Jason. Real book or fake book? Don't look at me that way. It's scary.
I don't know why I'm so stressed about this. Okay, Be Nice, Jason. I'm picturing like a little kid in like a onesie. Or is that like Harry Horrible, the horrible, horrific day? Is that maybe what I'm thinking of? Be Nice, Jason. Or am I thinking of Harold and his purple crayon? Because he's in a onesie. I'm thinking way too hard into this. My librarian mother would be very disappointed if I don't win this. So I'm going to Be Nice, Jason. Be Nice, Jason. Real book.
Be Nice, Jason. Written by Jonathan Seligman. It is fake. It is fake. Okay, so right now it is a close match right now.
Close.
5-3. You just need one more point, but there's only 2 more books left.
Oh, okay.
All right.
It's fine. It's all good. Okay, continue.
Number 9. Born on the Water. Real book.
I've never heard of that book. So I'm going to say it's a real book.
Born on the Water. Written by Nikole Hannah-Jones and Renee Watson. So, ding, ding. Yes, congratulations. You got it.
Oh my gosh. The little smirk.
It's worth checking out that one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. I was going to say the little smirk you gave made me think that I was right.
No, the smirk was when I laughed and he started looking at me. I said, yes, it's fake. So cool.
If you don't watch the video, watch it for at least this, because I think that you'll see the panic going through my face on every single question.
Last one, just for funsies. You already got it, but this one's gonna be hard.
Okay. All right.
Arthur and the Cootie Catcher.
That's not a real book. There's a lot of Arthur books. Arthur gets new glasses. Arthur goes to school. Arthur and something about teeth, which is gross. I don't think a cootie. Okay, I'm gonna say no to Cootie Catcher, and now I'm second guessing. Okay, no, it's not a real book.
Are you doing? Okay, she's locking.
Hey, this isn't fair because you love Arthur.
The Cootie Catcher by Marc Brown. Yes, it's a real book. If it's anything Arthur, it's gonna be real. Let's be real.
What? Okay, that's true.
I guess no. The way you're thinking about it. Okay, I see.
Okay. No, you're good. You love Arthur. I should have known. Yeah, the best anime.
Arthur is best. Thank you. On record, Jaime, take that. Arthur, best anime. But it doesn't matter if you got it wrong. You got 6 points, so you win our fake sheet, and so you will be getting a Klassen shirt, one of the editions. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
All right. But that all said, thank you, Sasha. It's been good. It's been good catching up. And the thing is, if people want to ask you how the digital learning is working, how can they reach to you?
You could, let's see. I don't have a lot of social media right now, but that's okay.
Or email, it's fine.
Or email, yeah. My work email is sasha.stone@smusd.org. I just got Blue Sky, and I don't know how to use it.
It's like Twitter.
I'm the Rambling Stone there. I have an Instagram for my teaching account, but I haven't been using it because I am trying to focus more on creating memories with my students instead of sharing, if that makes sense.
That's totally fair. No, that's cool. So the Rambling Stone?
The Rambling Stone is my Blue Sky. Or just email me.
Okay, cool. And you can find me at Mr. Seligman, MrSeligman on all the socials. I'm on Instagram. I'm on the Biskies as well, Blue Sky. I dug that Twitter into the dirt and said peace out. And
it's a hard one.
And then also you can find us at CH Classroom on all the socials as well. And if you would like to be on the podcast, if you have someone you want to recommend or an idea you'd like to recommend, you can always email us at chaoticharmonyclassroom@gmail.com. Also, don't forget, 100th episode. That's not the 100th episode, but the one we're going to celebrate. It's coming up soon. So if you want to share a thought, please also email us there. Thank you all so much for listening, watching, and thank you, Sasha, for being a part of this. Bye!
Bye!
The Chaotic Harmony podcast is a joint project between Crystal Pridmore and Jonathan Seligman. You can find us online at chaoticharmonyclassroom.com. You can email us at chaoticharmonyclassroom@gmail and let us know what you think. Give us feedback about what you would like to hear in future episodes. We're on all the socials. Find us on facebook.com/chaoticharmonyclassroom. You can find us on Twitter at @CHClassroom, Instagram at Chaotic Harmony Classroom, and you can even find our episodes on YouTube. Chaotic Harmony is the name of our channel. Special thanks to Bryan Pridmore for his help with production and equipment. www.pridmoria.com.